All right, hello Monarchs. Welcome to the video for 5.1 day 2. Today we'll be graphing linear equations in two variables. So yesterday we graphed linear equations in one variable. Today we're going to be graphing linear equations in two variables. And this is how we will normally be graphing. This is how most of your graphs will normally be. You'll have two variables. It's in what's called slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, which is what this is, y equals 2x plus 3, but we'll go over that in further depth in the coming up lessons. This is just kind of the general basics of the graph and how we graph, okay? So what is a line? So a line has a few key characteristics. For one, a line is straight, okay? It's a straight line, okay? So that means that it cannot have any bumps, it cannot have any curves, it is a straight line, okay? The other important feature of a line is that it extends both ways forever. Okay, so it extends in each direction forever. So it extends to the left and right or up and down forever, and we show that by putting arrows on the end of our lines, okay? See how this has an arrow on it? That means that it extends forever, and that's because it's a line, okay? So a linear equation, on the other hand, has a little bit of a more formal definition, okay? A linear equation is an equation between two variables. So we're going to write an equation between two variables, okay? An equation between two variables that gives a straight line when plotted on a graph. So that gives a straight line, okay? All right, so we have our definitions written down now. We know what a linear equation is. A linear equation is this. It's just if we put this into a calculator, it would be a graph. We can graph that. It'll give us a straight line. Okay. All right. So it wants us, it says, it's asking us a question right here at the top. Okay. It says, does 3, negative 1 lie on the line 2x plus y equals 7. Okay, we have 2x plus y equals 7. If you can see, we have an x, okay, and we have a y. Okay, so I'm going to highlight my x and highlight my y. All right, if you remember, like we were talking about on ordered pairs all have an x coordinate and a y coordinate, right? This would be my x and this would be my y, right? So I'm going to highlight those again. We'll make this blue just to show that it's my x. We'll make this orange just to show that it's my y, okay? So my x is going to be 3, my y is negative 1. Now, if we look at this equation, you'll also see that there's an x and a y. So what we do when we're trying to see if a point lies on the line, what we do is we plug in our x coordinate, so right here where we see an x, and when we plug in our y coordinate where we see a y, and we see if the equation is true, okay? So first we're going to plug in for x, so I'm going to do 2. Okay, and that just came straight from here. Okay, that came straight from here from this 2. That's where I got this 2. Okay, I just brought it straight down. But this is 2x. Instead of 2x, we're going to put 2 times, because remember, anytime there's a number right next to a variable, that means it's multiplying, right? So we're going to do 2 times, and we know what x is. It tells us what x is. So we're going to do 2 times 3, okay, because x is 3. So I got that right from there. And then I'm going to bring down my plus sign, because I have a plus sign. So plus, and then I have y, and I'm not going to put in y because I know what y is. Y I know is negative 1. So I'm going to do plus negative 1 equals 7. So we're going to see if that's correct. Okay, so we're going to do 2 times 3. That's 6. And we're going to do 6 minus 1, or 6 minus 1 rather, not minus 5. 6 minus 1. Okay, and 6 minus 1 is 5. And 5 does not equal 7, right? So this does not lie on the line. Okay. If we got negative 1, or if we ended up getting 7 on both sides, then we would know that that is correct. But since 2 times 3 plus a negative 1 does not work, then it does not lie on the line. Okay. Same with when it says, is 3, 1 a solution? Anytime something is a solution, for it to be a solution, we need to be able to plug that point into that equation and make it true. Okay. So again, we have an x and we have a y. I'm going to highlight accordingly. Okay, I'm going to highlight my x. Okay, now I'm going to plug in my numbers for my x and my y. So again, I have 2 times, I just got that right from there. And instead of x, I'm going to do 3 plus y. But instead of y, I know my y is 1. So I'm going to plug in a 1, see if that equals 7. So 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So that checks out. You would say, yes, 3, 1 is a solution to that equation. Okay. Stay tuned for the second video for lesson 5.1, day 2.